I'm asking my colleague Madhuri to take over and start the next session.
Good morning to the third day workshop. Today the first session is to do the spoken tutorial, hands-on session for the spoken tutorial, metal displacement reactions. So you will start your hands-on session. You will open the side-by-side method. You will open the metal displacement reactions tutorial and practice it side by side. In the spoken tutorial series, this particular tutorial is here. Number 10 is the tutorial is number 10, metal displacement reactions. You will open this tutorial and do side-by-side method as before. So open the video of metal displacement to one side, make it half, and then open the VLABs and place it side by side with it and start off.
Yeah, participants, I have posted the link for the to access the solutions for the home assignments and the practice problems in the chat window. So you can click on the link and access the folder. And I have also posted the slides which yesterday as a guest speakers have they have displayed. So those slides are also there. So many of you have requested for them. So I have posted them also in the same folder, so you can access them.
Please share schedule as well, today's schedule.
Yeah, I'm showing the schedule for today. So for today we have got first session of metal displacement reactions until 10:45. Then we have the second tutorial, hands-on session for the second tutorial, determination of equilibrium constant, and then the third. So this is the morning session for today. Everybody can see my screen. So we'll continue with in the first session we will do 3 tutorials, and then there are 2 demo sessions after that. Please continue with the tutorial. You will start side-by-side method for metal displacement reactions.
See, can you show today's task again and how to do it side by side?
Yes.
Okay, open the tutorial and also this thing and then show.
Yes. For today's task, I'm opening the window, spoken tutorial, and also the VLab interface. I'll open and show how we exactly go to that place. So I'll share my screen and show how we do it. Here is the list of spoken tutorials which is there. From here, I have taken the 10th tutorial in the list, metal displacement reactions, clicked on it and got it in the video. And I'm just making it small. I'm reducing the size so that I can show the second part, that is. So the next thing is to go to the VLabs. So I have opened the VLabs interface. This is the default setup. Okay, here we have to go to metal displacement reaction. So it is in the redox titration reaction. So we have to go to file menu, load homework, and then in the default lab setup we will take the last one, that is redox, last folder redox, double click on it and go for redox reaction series. So here the VLab for redox has opened. In the lab setup we have got distilled water, and then we have got solids cabinet and solutions cabinet. So you will click on the solids cabinet. You will find, when you click on it, you will find all these salts, that is all these solids, silver, copper, zinc, lead and magnesium. And in the solutions cabinet you will see all these solutions. So you will take the solids and the solutions for doing this particular experiment. I will keep it side by side for some time so that you all can see.
Madhuri, you should bring that window a lot closer. This window. No, not that window. Not that window. Yeah, you don't need all of that. You don't need the reduce it. Other way around. I don't want any overlap between the two windows. That's
okay.
They should do it like this. Then, to the extent possible, if they do it, then it is better.
Now it is okay, sir.
Yeah, is this, still it is okay, because you have actually so much space on the left-hand side of the window. You shift the whole thing, all the way up to, that's it. Now if you do it, then it is better. Yeah.
Hello, participants, you have some questions I'm seeing. Akash is asking what is e to the power minus 7?
Yeah,
it means 10 to the power minus 7, okay? Yeah. Vinay is asking about JMOL. JMOL cannot be discussed here, ma'am. In the afternoon session, we'll talk about that. Okay. So this is Chem Collective. So all the discussions on other software, we'll do it in the afternoon. Okay, there is a session. Yeah, actually practice problem for reactivity of halogens. I'm doing it. I'm doing the demo in the afternoon session. Okay, that will be a demo problem for the afternoon session.
Okay, I'll start the demonstration. People are saying they are done with the tutorial.
Yes, yes, yeah. You can start, Madhuri.
Yes, yes. Okay, I'll start sharing my screen. So now I will explain about what is precise transfer and significant transfer. And then the last one is realistic transfer. Realistic transfer
Yeah,
is used mostly for titration process when we have to drag and drop the liquid. Okay, let me show the demo for that. I will start sharing. So here is my VLabs window with some chemicals, but then let me add them again. So I have taken a graduated cylinder, 25 ml graduated cylinder, and a pipette and 1 m acetic acid to show the differences. The first thing is I will show through precise transfer, and then I will then show significant transfer. Okay, let me first show precise transfer. So I will go to tools menu, transfer bar, precise. Now for that I will do I will drag the water tank and place it on the Erlenmeyer flask, and I will add to the third decimal point. Like if I have 10.334, I can add up to third decimal. So let me add. So this is like no measurement. It is only to show that we are able to add up to third measurement and pour. So the amount is seen on the right panel. Here we have added up to third decimal point very clearly. So when I'll just drag this back. Okay, so here I have added 10.334. That is the third decimal amount I've added using precise transfer. Now I will show what is significant transfer. So here I will go to tools, go to transfer bar and change my mode to significant figures transfer. So, and then for this I will use graduated cylinder. So here I have taken 25 ml graduated cylinder. I'm going to pour it into the other Erlenmeyer flask which I have taken. So I will first withdraw this amount. I'll place the water tank on graduated cylinder and then pour exactly 10 ml. So what is wrong, Snellata? Why doesn't it pour 10?
Which transfer you are using?
Significant transfer.
Significant figures which cannot have decimals. It will exactly pour exactly 10 ml.
Yeah,
And
but
if
that
your graduated cylinder is 10 ml,
yes.
okay, I think it should do it 10 ml.
No, because when I
Or
pour
maybe
10 ml, it says 3.77 ml. Something is wrong.
1 minute. I think someone asked for link for this. I will ask Madhulika to give. I think if you use significant transfer, it cannot take decimals. Only exactly you can take. But I think only to the empty flask you transfer, Madhuri, distilled water to the empty Erlenmeyer flask.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Using the
Significant transfer.
significant transfer, yes. And you put decimal and show, it will not take decimal, you know, it will take only exactly, if you put 0.2, 0.5, it will not take.
Okay,
It will
let
give
me
an
say
error.
0.5.
Yeah.
Let me show. Oh,
It will
yes.
tell,
It
yeah.
will
So,
take
full figures.
full figures.
that-
So it doesn't mean it
yeah.
means it is 10. So it does not allow 10, 10.05. So if it had been just 10 and then say 4, yeah, it has 4.
Yeah.
So here
So,
that is the difference.
actually, the difference is that in significant means it is approximately kind of, you know.
Kind of. Okay, if I
Precise
take
means it goes up to third decimal. Yeah.
ml. Yeah, that is okay. When I go to precise, go to tools and precise, I can transfer up to
Take
like,
another flask, na?
yeah,
Take
yeah.
another flask, na?
Yes,
Empty
yes.
flask.
I'll just delete it. That okay. Let me take one more Erlenmeyer. Okay, here I am putting exactly. I have changed the transfer bar now to precise transfer. Let me add 10.05 and then click on pour. Yeah, it does allow me to pour 10.05. The amount is shown on the right panel. Solution info panel shows that it is 10.05. So it allows me to do.
So wherever I think there is approximate amount needed, you can use the significant transfer. And when you need exact amount, you have to use precise transfer.
Okay, so probably if I want 9.7 or 9.8, if I say 10, that should be okay. If with little amount of 0.5 ml difference. Yeah, anything else?
And the burette you show again, na?
Yes.
Actually, this I think you can fill up a pipette using the significant transfer. Try, Madhuri. Because usually pipettes are not very accurate, you know.
Yes.
So,
yes. Okay, let me fill the burette with the
burette
precise
it may
transfer.
not allow.
With significant transfer.
Just try.
Yeah, I will try. So significant transfer, I'm putting 50 because burette has the same amount.
People are trying actually.
Yeah. Please try along with me because
yes.
Yeah. So here what happened was I added 50, but then in the solution info panel it says 40.92. Yeah, so I had used a significant transfer for this, but I had poured 50 ml. But then this solution info panel says that I am having a liquid of 40.92, and it is also seen in the burette, like it is not full. It is very clear here that it is not full. The remaining part is empty. We can enlarge if you want. Like if I bring it close to this. Yeah, here we can see that if I bring this close, it's that you can see here in the graduation that it is it has come up to 10, and it is filled up till 10 only. The above part is empty. So then had I put it in precise transfer, that would completely show 50 for me. So I'll bring it back to precise transfer, take a new burette again. Here we have seen this, but then let me put it for the other burette, add some more water to this so that I have 50 ml inside it. Okay, I'll take a new burette again. Now this again to the burette. Okay, here I'm in the correct position to add. Now add. Yeah. Now can you see the difference here? Now I will click on the new burette. So it says 50 ml. So when you have precise transfer, it will exactly transfer 50 ml. The earlier step when I took the burette, though I said 50 ml, the amount that is transferred is 40.92. That is the difference between the significant transfer and the precise transfer. Okay, the next transfer is realistic transfer. Okay, this I will show using the burette and a Erlenmeyer flask. So I will transfer the amount from the burette to Erlenmeyer flask in the form of a titration method. So I will use for this I will use realistic transfer and add very slowly small amounts. So here the amount is being added. We can drag. So when I'm using a realistic transfer, we don't have a transfer amount input bar, but in that place we have a scale that has come up down. You all can see the scale which is at the bottom of my window. And here in this case, we have to actually click the pour button very slowly in a drag mode. So actually when you do the drag mode, you can see the liquid part, that you can see the scale running over down. So when I slowly drag, you can see that scale is being dragged. So slowly we can drag. So this helps in dragging, and the liquid is poured in a drag mode. So when I put it back to precise transfer, and I'll say 0.5 ml to be if I have to titrate 0.5 ml, then I will write 0.5 here. And in this case, it is not drag mode, it is click mode. Like if I click only, the amount will fall. The liquid will drop into the Erlenmeyer flask. So for every amount that has to come into Erlenmeyer flask, I need to click. So click will help in pouring. So there is no drag mode in this case. The drag mode is available in realistic transfer. I think we are done, right, Snehallata?
Yes, Madhuri. Did you show this transfer, realistic transfer?
Yeah, all three.
Yeah,
all three. Yes.
All three. So participants, if you have anything, I'll just unmute all of you. So if you have anything to ask Madhuri, you can ask here. She can clear your doubts regarding any of the virtual labs, apparatus, solutions, anything,
Yeah, scale, whatever.
scale, whatever.
And also, okay, I forgot about Bunsen burner. I forgot.
Yeah, Bunsen burner. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I'll
yes.
just clear my.
1 minute, participants. She'll explain how to use the Bunsen burner.
I'll just
Take a
clean
new
my.
workbench. Take a
Yes,
new
yes, I'll
workbench.
just clean the workbench. Okay, so the next thing is to show about Bunsen burner. So I'll take one Erlenmeyer and then some water. Let me add some 50 ml of water to this using precise transfer. Okay, so here that Bunsen burner is available in the tools menu. Defaultly when you open the Bunsen burner, you will see that the flame is on. You can see a blue colored flame when you on it, and there are two arrows on it. The one up arrow and down arrow. When you point your mouse cursor on the up arrow, it is shown red in color actually. That means the Bunsen burner is on. And then if you don't want the Bunsen burner to be on for some reason, or generally in lab we don't keep it on, so whenever we require then only we on it, isn't it? So if I don't want to on, I just click it on the lower button. Now the flame is gone, so lower button is off, upper button is on. Let me on, and now put the again the same thing, blue plus mark indicates that it is correct. Yes. Okay, so here I have put the Bunsen burner on, and then you can see the rise in temperature. Also change the species in the mixture, so the temperature can let me heat it up to 100 degrees, like, and then stop. It's just water, so okay, let me stop. It has come to 100 degrees. So I have clicked the down arrow button so that it is stopped. Now we can see the temperature has come to 100 degrees. Okay, here I will show how to insulate this particular flask. I'll right click on it and click on thermal properties. See, you can see the temperature. So insulated, it is already coming close. So I will say yes. Now I have insulated. So because it is fast in going, the temperature is decreasing very fast, but then I can insulate it here. So the better method to insulate again is we'll take a foam cup and then insulate. That is better because it gets insulated. So I will use a foam cup, add water to it, and then insulate from surroundings. I'll add 10 ml of water to this. And here it is in 25 degrees centigrade. Thermal properties. I'll set it at 25 degrees only. I can set it at 30 degrees Celsius and insulate from surroundings. So the foam cup will remain at 30 degrees. Yeah, I think I'm done. Anything else to ask?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Yeah, participants, now you can ask your questions if you have any doubts. I want to show. There is no tripod stand. Sorry, someone is asking. Sundara, no pride, no. Yeah, pipette out. I will show. So, yes,
Hello.
yes. Please ask.
Then the temperature of solution in the flask is 100 degrees Celsius. Can we isolate it at that point inside the 100 degrees Celsius from the surrounding?
Yes. Okay, once it reaches the surroundings, we can isolate it from surrounding because I took some time to do it. So the temperature dropped, but then at 100 degrees we can isolate. We can just go to thermal properties, insulate it at the surroundings. It remains there. You want? Yes, I will actually do it. That I can actually make it to 100 degrees now and say okay. Yeah, it will remain isolated at 100 degrees also. Yes. So now you can see the temperature at 100 degrees and it is isolated. We have insulated from the surroundings. The flask now has.
Madhuri,
Yeah.
Madhuri,
Huh.
someone has asked, Archana Trivedi, Dr. Archana
Yes.
Trivedi has asked, can you please help understand the log molarity graph in the solution info?
Yeah, the
So,
long
take one
molarity graph.
acid, take an example of acid or base, and then you can tell that.
Yes. I'll just remove all these things on. These parts are clear, I hope, no? Yeah, I'll take some
Ma'am, just
acid.
one question.
Yeah, please ask.
Yeah, when do we use the significant this and when that precise has to be used?
Ma'am,
That's
I was showing the demo just before.
okay. I got it, but demo, okay, exactly when you want exact significant figure, then you use the significant figure.
Yes,
Am I right?
and you want a decimal number like you want 3.4 or 3.5, 3.05, like something in a decimal. Up to third decimal, we can use the transfer amount, which is precise. We can go to tools menu, go use precise transfer. Go to tools
Okay.
and yeah. So if you want it up to third decimal, you can use, and significant is exact amount. Like 10 means 10.
It
Oh,
will not take
acha.
any decimal. It will be
It will not,
approximately
Okay.
10 something like
approximately
that.
10
Okay.
something, but doesn't take the decimal input. Like if I have to input decimal, it doesn't allow me to put the
It
decimal
will
input.
not take
Okay.
10.00. If you want exactly 10.00, you should use precise transfer, or
Precise.
10.05, 10.3, 10.001. Like if you want
Okay.
exactly up to 3 decimals, then you can use you have to use the
Precise one.
precise. The name
Yes.
itself shows precise. Okay. So
Precise. Okay,
significant
got
is
it.
like if you want approximately 10 ml, approximately 5 ml. It can be 5 point something less, it can be 5.0, it can be more also. So if you don't mind that excess little bit less or more,
Little
you
bit.
can use that. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Thank
that
you
is
so
it.
much. Thank you.
Okay, someone is asking me to show insulation again. Yes.
The log thing, did you show?
Yeah, no, I'm
Madhuri,
coming to
log?
that. Yeah, I'll just
Oh, okay.
take some acid from the
Yes.
folder. Let me take weak acid.
H-
You want me to take HCl, 1m HCl?
yeah. You take strong acid only, you take. It will
Yeah.
be clear
Okay.
actually.
So
Yeah.
so I'll take 1m HCl from the stock room, and then so when I take the HCl bottle, as I click on it, you can see 3 bars here. There's one blue bar and slightly greenish bar, and then there is a red color bar. Here actually the log shows that whatever species is available in this particular flask. So I have got 3 things in this. We know that it is HCl, so it will have H plus, OH minus to a much lesser extent, and chloride ion. So we have chloride ion and hydrogen. Let is it being HCl, H plus and Cl minus. Both of them, here is the longer bars, that is the bigger bars are indicating hydrogen ion concentration and chloride ion concentration. The smaller bar is showing the hydroxide ion, because at any point water is always there. So it shows the concentration of the hydroxide ion also. In the same way, if I take sodium hydroxide, so let me take from strong bases, I take sodium hydroxide, 1m sodium hydroxide. So now you can see the difference here. I will show them, I'll put them side one. Okay, if I now click on sodium hydroxide, you can see the same thing coming out. We know that sodium hydroxide has sodium ion and hydroxide ion to a larger extent, 1:1 ratio. And then we have got a little amount of hydrogen, and also because this being a solution. So the 2 bars here, the longer bar, the bigger bars actually are indicating the concentration of hydroxide ion. The green one is for hydroxide ion, the red one is for sodium ion. So whatever is the chemical species available in the, so when I click on HCl, you can see the drop of OH minus, indicating that it is having lesser amount of hydroxide. So whatever species we are taking, it will actually show the species and its molarity, that is amount of the substance present in that particular chemical. What, so if it is an acid, it will be higher amount of H plus and OH minus, H plus and corresponding anion. And then if it is a base, it will again show the same, the cation and the anion. Yeah. And next question.
I think you can only show the pipetting and stop Madhuri, because
Yeah.
we are late for the next section.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Just give
Someone
me a
asked
minute.
pipetting. Yeah,
Pipetting.
then
Yes, sure. I'll just take a 10 ml pipette. Let me pipette out HCl and put it into some other. I'll take a new Erlenmeyer flask.
so for
Okay, here.
pipetting out, you can use either significant or precise. Both will work.
Okay, so first what I'll do is I will take the significant. Yeah, let me see what error it gives. I want to see the error. I want to show the error also, so that they will understand that this is not correct way. Okay, let me write 10 and try. Okay, I know it will come as an error. Okay, so participants, so in this case, if I write significant, did you mean 10.00? So let me put again. So that was the error. I wanted to show error. And now I'll say this. Yes, so it is correctly drawing 10 ml. Okay, when I put it as a same thing, I will, okay, let me put it back to the four. Okay, now I'll change the transfer bar to precise. Again, withdraw 10 ml. So this time it does not give me any error. So this is how we do. But then here in this case, I can also do both things. I can even add 10.05. Does it allow? It shouldn't allow because it doesn't allow. What should it will say it is overflowing because we know that it is 10 ml flask. So the recipient will have overflow. It will not allow because we have got only 10 ml. So I will remove that 0.5 thing beside and just write 10. Yes, the recipient is already full because I withdrew. Okay, so that is how we do. I wanted to show all these mistakes, Snellata, because sometimes when we are doing the thing and we are not there,
Yeah.
so they give these
One,
mistakes. So
yeah, one question has come. What is 10 to the power minus? Oh, that E also you explained, Madhuri.
yeah,
Many
yes,
people are
yes,
having.
yeah, yeah.
E is 10 to the power
E
minus
stands,
14 actually.
yes. So here in the, so what did I click now? Let me click sodium hydroxide. So here in the sodium hydroxide, it says H plus 1.010 E minus 14. E minus 14 means it is actually 1.01010 into 10 to the power of minus 14. And it is E0. Okay, here for hydroxide it says E0. That means E0 is, there is no 10 power, it is just 1. So it should be 1 into 10 to the power of 0. That means 1 into 10 to the power of 0 means 1 only, isn't it? So E indicates the power, whether it is positive 10 to the power of minus 14 or if you have positive numbers plus 14, whatever it is indicated by E here. Yeah, can you show insulation please? Yes. Okay, let me insulate. I'll take some water to insulate. Let me take a Erlenmeyer. We can do it in beaker also. I should show in beaker if you want. Yeah. So here is the beaker, and then let me add some 50 ml to this. 4. Okay. At what temperature say I want to insulate this particular beaker? Now the beaker shows 25 degrees temperature. I will insulate it to 30 degrees or 35 degrees. Okay. Let me put 35 degrees. In the set that here we have in, okay, how I got this? I will right click on it and say thermal properties. And then in the set the temperature to bar, we have got a text bar here. We can enter text inside it. Let me put 35 here. And then there's a button for checking. It says insulate from surroundings. Click on the button and you'll get a check mark. It's a check mark thing. It's a check box actually. And then we can say okay. So now when you click on this beaker, we can see that the temperature is 35 degrees. If I click on any other glassware, say Erlenmeyer here, it is 25. So because we have not insulated this, we have only insulated the beaker. Okay, I think that is enough, right? That is all, Snellata. What else we have?
Yes, I think we should proceed to the next session.
Yeah, so next session, so I'll just close my
We
window.
will, no, we have
Yes,
more hands-on session today.
Yes. Okay.
We
So I'll
have
just close.
two more actually, equilibrium constant and solubility product before
So,
lunch.
yeah, so
And
I
then
think
there is
we
a
are
demonstration also, So,
yeah, so we are running out of time. So let me put back my next thing.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Ma'am, I
ma'am.
have a query, ma'am. In view options, there are themes, and under these themes, there is emerald, neutral.
Yeah. Let me show this.
Can you
Yes.
please explain it, ma'am? Thank you.
Sure. Yeah. So okay, when we open the default window, let me close up this window and just open the default window again. So I have to run the terminal every time to open because I'm using Linux. So when I open my default window all the time, the view which is always there is in this mode. Okay, so when we click on the view and open it, the default view which always opens is metallic view or metal view. And then, but I always prefer using presentation mode because when I use presentation mode, you can see that on the left hand side everything becomes bold and all of them become very clear. So if I use the view and then metal mode, it's the same. There is no change in anything. The mode is become like simple, like it is not very clear, it is not prominent. And then when we use presentation mode, while recording also we generally use presentation mode. So the window, when we defaultly open it, it is in the metal view. And then we go to the second thing I already told about presentation. Next one is a neutral view. In the neutral view, we don't see the blue color. That is generally when we open the default view, the window is in blue color, but then the workbench now changes to gray color, ash gray. And here when you, the interface looks like this. It is like color change. That is it is just like background color change. If in some windows we want to put it black, or if you're using LibreOffice, we can color the background. So it is just like that, coloring the black background to gray color. So everything here looks gray. And then the next one is emerald. That is nice color again. So the background changes to, everything here changes to emerald. So it is only like change of background each time. We can color change it. We have two color changes here, that is emerald, that is green color, and the neutral comes to ash. And then the third mode is presentation mode. It is blue, but then everything looks very prominent. Okay, I think that
Yeah,
are
we
you
can,
clear, madam? Yes. Okay, so I'll
yeah.
go to my next session.
Yes,
So,
yes. Next session, they have to do
so
another
next,
hands-on
yeah,
tutorial.
here
Show
we
them
have
which
got,
tutorial they have to do.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
So the next tutorial is determination of equilibrium constant. Let me go to the window and show the next tutorial. And also, so I'll go back to the, yeah, here, and then place it side by side. So the next tutorial in the series is determination of equilibrium constant. Yeah, click on it. You will see the window opened, and make it side by side again. Open the VLABS window. Okay, let me open that particular window where we have equilibrium constant. In the file menu, we will go to load homework and then chemical equilibrium. And in chemical equilibrium, we have got cobalt lab. And okay. So this is the experiment. Please continue. On the player, we have got one volume control. We can increase the volume control. If you cannot, like if it is at a lower volume, we will not be able to hear it. So just drag the volume control to high so that you can hear clearly. And after this, if you cannot hear still, on your system you can increase the input volume. You can increase the input volume and then you can hear clearly. Snehata, can we go to the next session? Yeah, it's time.
Yeah, has everyone completed this
Yeah,
equilibrium
like
tutorial?
people are doing it, they're also done. They're saying assignment is also done.
Assignment also done. Okay, that is
Okay,
good.
very
Very,
good.
very.
Yeah, so let me continue with the next tutorial. I'll share.
Assignment also done. I think I don't remember what was the assignment.
Yeah,
We
assignment
have
is
done
there.
it.
Yeah, that is okay. The assignment is about changing back to its original state. That is adding
Oh,
water and changing back to its original state.
oh, that is that. Okay.
Yeah,
So they're doing it. Equilibrium.
I asked them to add water and bring it back. Okay, very good. Everybody has done. Now let me go to the next tutorial.
Oh yes, yes, Bharati ma'am. Spoken tutorial has assignment and you finished it. Very good. Yes.
Yes, yes, very good. Okay, so the next tutorial in the series is determination of equilibrium solubility product. So I will share the screen and show the side-by-side method. So load homework, determining the solubility product. Okay, I'll show the assignment for this. Participants, here is the assignment for solubility product. That there is no table here for calculations. So someone is asking, no, the table is not in VLabs. It is actually, I made it in Word actually, and then put it in the video. It is not in the VLabs. We don't have table in VLabs. We, after taking the calculations, we have to note down and then write it in a separate window. It's not in the, it's not available in the VLabs. Saida ma'am,
Yeah, people have done solubility product. We'll wait till 12:15 and Madhuri has a demonstration after that. Okay. Yeah, we'll wait. Let all of you finish. Participants, could you all complete the solubility product?
yeah, they're giving the answers also. Some of them.
Good.
Xavier sir has.
Yes. They are
Yeah,
giving
he's
the
checking
answers.
for the answer, so I posted the correct answer. So they're correct, Xavier sir.
Yes. So maybe you can.
Yeah, I can
after-
start the
yeah,
next
you can
demo.